Cocaine exists in multiple chemical forms, each with distinct properties that affect how it's used and experienced. Understanding these differences is important for medical professionals, researchers, and public health workers. The journey from plant to product involves a complex chemical extraction process. Cocaine begins as coca leaves, which undergo laboratory processing through various chemical treatments. This process yields different end products, a white powder and solid crystalline substances, each representing different chemical forms of the drug. The base form has unique characteristics that distinguish it from other forms. Think of it like the difference between water vapor and ice. Same substance, different properties. The base form is associated with specific routes of administration and effects on the respiratory system. Now, let's examine the salt form. This form has 4 key properties. First, it's highly soluble in water, making it suitable for certain administration methods. Second, it has a high melting point, which affects how it can be used. Third, this solubility makes it appropriate for injection use. And fourth, it's commonly used intranasally, the most recognizable method of cocaine use. The salt form has a characteristic onset time. Effects begin within just a few minutes of administration. The drug rapidly crosses the blood-brain barrier, leading to peak effects. These effects typically last between 30 to 45 minutes before beginning to decline. In contrast, the base form has different timing characteristics. When smoked, the onset is extremely rapid, within seconds. The drug reaches the brain almost immediately, creating an intense but brief experience. However, the duration is much shorter, lasting only around 5 minutes. Let's compare these two forms side by side. The salt form appears as a white crystalline powder with a longer duration of effects. The base form appears as solid rocks or crystals with a much shorter, more intense duration. These physical and temporal differences are directly related to their chemical structures. Multiple factors determine how cocaine behaves. The chemical form, whether salt or base, is the primary determinant. This affects the melting point, which in turn influences the method of consumption. The consumption method determines the speed of onset, and the speed of onset correlates with the duration of effects. It's a cascade of interconnected properties.